Alright. Hey guys. Sorry about the last stream that we just tried to do. I hope you could hear me. If you could hear me, put a thumbs up. Can you put a thumbs up if you can hear me? Can you hear us? Or you guys talk real quick so they see if
Can you hear us loud and clear?
Any noise?
No comments so far. Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
We're ours is lagging behind a little bit, so we're just going to have a look.
It's lagging? Is that what you said?
No, that's the old one.
1 second, I'm gonna reload the page. Can everybody hear us? I'm going to assume that they can, because there are people watching and nobody's commenting. Anyway,
No news is good news, as they say.
yeah, alright, so we'll just... Yeah, anyway, so these guys are doing a new show real quick, since we talked about that in the other broadcast that got deleted. These guys do a show for FandomWire called Movie Squad, where they talk all things movie news and answer your questions. We'll talk more about that at the end of our stream. But yeah, so we're going to talk Captain Marvel today. We're joined by Jack and Scott. Jack's on the left, Scott on the right, and we're going to talk...
All the way from East London, how is the world?
Alright, well, nobody's commenting, so far so good. No, I don't know. Anyway.
Guys, if you can hear us loud and clear, give us a thumbs up, because
Yeah.
we struggled with the last stream.
Someone says yup, so I'm guessing they can hear us?
Big lads on the audio.
Cheers, Richie, thank you.
Yes, yep. So, yeah, people are joining in right now. Hopefully more joining in. Alright, so basically, someone said I didn't watch Captain Marvel. What are your thoughts on the film? Well, we're getting to that. If you don't want to be spoiled, don't watch. Just your time to leave right
This
now.
is going to be a spoiler-heavy
Walk away now.
review. We'll give you the 3, 2, 1 warning.
Yep, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so let's talk about the scrolls, because that's what we were talking about in the other one. The other stream. So the scrolls, to me, were an abomination. I absolutely hated what they did with the scrolls. Someone I know warned me before I went. They didn't give me any spoilers. They just said it's like the Iron Man 3 Mandarin situation, which I didn't hate. I'll admit, I'm not one of the ones that hated that. But, you know, so I am familiar with scrolls. Not a lot, but a little bit. Exactly. Richie says scrolls equals good guys. Yeah, they're not supposed to be. They're not supposed to be.
That's one of my worries, is now that the Skrulls are, spoiler alert, the good guys, what is going to happen with the MCU going forward? I mean, Secret Invasion, is that off the table? Or are we saying that the Skrulls in Captain Marvel are like a small faction? I mean, I disagree. I thought Talos was probably one of the best things about the film.
No, his accent wasn't. It didn't fit the Skrull race. It was almost.
Well, he sounded like he's from like Stepney Green or something, like down the market somewhere, didn't he? Like,
my biggest problem with the Skrulls was their transformation when they were killed. It was like a really old Doctor Who. It was awful.
Yeah, that I agree with you, and part of the problem that I had is, you know, they try. I get what you're saying. There could be factions, and I tend to agree. I think this may just be one group that are, you know, supposedly good guys, but I think
so they might be like they said, refugees, and the real Skrull race are the infiltrators, the infestation.
I mean, Rissa from Trinidad and Tobago on the live stream just said the same thing. Maybe some are good guys.
Richie says, yep, Skrulls will probably help against Thanos. No, I don't think so. Not the way they set it up. But I will say this, I think at some point it's possible. Now, judging from what I saw, I don't think they're going to go this route. But from what I hope this is that they are going to make them bad guys. So at some point in the future. Remember, it's like 20 years ahead. Or that was in the movie. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah, big gap.
Right. So I'm hoping that they become the Skrulls we actually know and love. And honestly, that was the biggest draw for me for this movie. I was most excited about the Skrulls. And they ruined it. We were talking about
this earlier on, wasn't we? Like, is there another Marvel film to fit in this 20-year void before Iron Man hits the timeline? And there's not that we can see. So we can't see any progression of Skrulls. It's just going to have this massive leap forward.
Right, and I think that's going to confuse the general audience because if they do that, which I said before, I don't think they're going to do because of what they did in Captain Marvel. I don't know they're going to turn them bad, in the future, but I hope they do. But again, the general movie-going audience has no idea what the Skrulls are. They're going to be confused.
That's the issue. I mean, my wife comes to all the films with us, and she doesn't have the depth of knowledge because she's never read all the comic books. So for her, the Skrulls are now the good guys and the Kree are the bad guys. But we all know if you're like an uber comic book nerd, it's not true.
Right, and that's one of the big problems. That's honestly probably the biggest problem I have with it. Now, I know what people say, well, you can take liberties, and generally, I say yes, take liberties, whatever. It doesn't have to be exactly like the comic book. But the problem here is that they took the core essential elements of the characters and just threw them out the window, like the Mandarin thing. A lot of people are comparing it to the Mandarin thing. To me, the Mandarin thing isn't that big of a deal. I mean, I don't think the draw for Iron Man 3 for me wasn't Mandarin, so that could play a part in my opinion. But I don't care that much about Mandarin. It certainly wasn't handled the best, but it wasn't.
The Mandarin, that was a genius casting because you've got Ben Kingsley in the MCU, who's like probably one of the best British actors. To ever, best actors going to come out of Britain, and he's not even been wasted. So he's not even the Mandarin who's been defeated in one film. So you've got the Mandarin to come. He was just like a little filler, but what a good filler.
Just want to jump on that comment from Daniel Edwards that Captain Marvel 100% that missing character from the Endgame trailer. That void space, absolutely there.
Oh yeah, are they suggesting it's probably Captain Marvel? Is that what
Daniel Edwards is,
Yeah, probably. I know Richie here says, so will Endgame start with Captain Marvel with the rest of the Avengers? I don't think so. Richie. I think they're going to have her come in a little bit later, and then the beginning, again, this is just speculation, but the beginning, I think, is going to be showing the aftermath of the Thanos snap. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think as we see in the end credit trailer, Captain Marvel appearing with Black Widow and Captain America and Banner.
Yeah.
But that will definitely be factored in further into Endgame. That's not going to be anywhere near the opening, the first act, is it? Can't be.
I would disagree. I think it may be because you think if you're going to start a film, that would be a good starting point to have them seeing how many people are missing in the snap, and then all of a sudden Captain Marvel turning up. Connor Danaway wants to shout out, hello Connor.
What's happening, Connor?
We know now that Endgame's going to be 3 hours long.
Awesome.
Reportedly.
Yeah. Great news.
sign me up.
I agree.
If the first 5 minutes of the film is that end credit scene, that's not a bad way to start the film, is it?
Yeah,
I reckon the opening credit will be the Tony Stark adrift.
I agree.
A little bit there, but I think Endgame is the Stark Nebula storyline.
I mean, I agree. I think the beginning is going to start with where the characters are after the snap. I do think that Captain Marvel is going to be in the film early on, like within the first probably half hour or so. But I don't think she's going to be actually like in the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But I think it's possible. Peter Zapp. Yeah. Sorry about that. Peter Zav says, "What's your opinion?" This is a long one, but what's your opinion on the fanboys hating on new Captain Marvel film just because it's not the original Captain Marvel? DC's Shazam hasn't been Captain Marvel since before most of us were born. Shazam was Captain Marvel for 14 years under DC, and Marvel Comics has had a version of Captain Marvel for 51 years. What do you guys think?
One for you, sunshine.
That's deep, isn't it? Well, you're only talking about the name, aren't you? They're not the same character. It's not like Greek mythology where you've got two Zeuses that can coexist in the DCU and the MCU. They're totally different characters. It's only a name. Like, yeah, Shazam, solid character. Captain Marvel, totally different origin stories, different powers. I don't think there's an issue. Like, I'm not being funny. This film made Kevin Smith cry. He's the biggest fanboy of them all. So if he's all right with it, I'm sure we can be.
Right. I mean, I agree. I think I don't understand. I honestly haven't really seen that complaint. I mean, I've seen people joke about it, but I haven't seen it as like an outrage. I think I would say that there's more outrage, legitimate or not. There's more outrage about Brie Larson's comments and sort of things. We won't get into that. We're just going to talk about the movie, but yeah. So I haven't really seen that complaint that much, but anyway, Richie says Ronan versus Captain Marvel. Who do you guys think is going to win?
Captain Marvel all day long.
Yeah. And I think that brings up a point that I wanted to talk about. And I know a lot of our talk so far has been negative, but we're getting into some positive stuff, but it brings up a good point. I thought the way she all of a sudden got way overpowered, like insanely overpowered. I don't know if you guys had the same thought, but it's like, really? It was just ridiculous. The way she went for, I mean, I get it. She's very powerful, but...
Pretty powerful at the start, wasn't she? Let alone without the little thing on her neck.
And then it was like, it was almost like everything was just too easy at the end. There were no stakes at all. I mean, not that we ever thought that, Captain Marvel was going to die or anything, but, I mean, there's no really big weight because all of a sudden, like, miraculously, she gets all this power. It was to me, that part was blown. And maybe I just need to, watch it again. But I think...
She got that power, or she unharnessed all that suppressed power, and then instantly she knew how to use and control it all. There was no learning curve, was there? It was just...
She's almost got the curse of Superman, hasn't she? Where she's so superpowered that really the whole Ronan versus Captain Marvel, like if there is a film of that, it's going to be quite a short film because he already smashed up a load of his ships and they retreated. So how do you do? It'd be interesting to see how they do a Captain Marvel 2. Whether they go back to that 20-year gap between Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame and what her nemesis is.
What, right. Richie. This is actually a good one. It's scrolling fast. I'm sorry if I'm changing subjects, but Richie says, in the Skrull's ship, was that meant to be a super Skrull? I don't think so.
The giant one.
Yeah, the giant one.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. As soon as I saw it, I thought that's a super Skrull.
Look, here's the thing. The legality of it is that they can't do that. They can't. They can't use Super Skrull that belongs. I know Disney bought Fox, but it's still the deal isn't done yet. They're not gonna risk ruining the getting the legality and all that taken care of. They're not gonna collude. They're not gonna do it. So I don't think.
Yeah, but Deadpool didn't they? The first Deadpool, they weren't allowed to use that certain character name, and
right.
They used it, didn't they, at the end, where he was having the final battle, and he was like, "Oh, you're, my friend from Sizzler." They did it, so maybe it was like a, skirting the lines, maybe.
And well, that was a little bit different because they weren't at that point merging. They weren't merging. What they were doing, they were just separate companies. Fox wanted to change the name, and Marvel wanted something in return. And basically, they just made the trade, and then Marvel got to use Ego. They got to use Ego. So that's basically what happened there. Now, someone Andy says, how strong is she? Thor strong? Probably more.
Well, she's had to be the strongest ever, isn't she? And in the Marvel,
yeah,
in the Avengers lineup, as it were.
I mean, Mark's just said, please do not draw comparisons to Superman.
Yeah,
don't insult the man.
Wow.
I think.
Wow.
Actually, I really like that comment from Stephen Long. Can you explain the timeline of the Tesseract? We were talking about this earlier on, wasn't we? Because the Tesseract, that is just. Why is that the biggest Infinity Stone?
So 20-year gap between when the spoiler alert cat
we've done that
chucked it up on his desk to Avengers.
Yeah,
that's a big gap.
Yeah, I agree with you. I saw that comment and I was like, you know what? That makes sense because in the first Avenger, Howard Stark picked up the Tesseract. How did it get
1945-ish?
Yeah. Now a lot could have happened in that time. It's like 30 years or 40. I don't know the exact timeline, but yeah, I mean that wasn't. I don't know. Anything could have happened in that time, but I think yeah, that was a little bit of a retcon or whatever you want to call it. Andrew Forbes says it was mediocre. Making her Mary Sue was a mistake. Yeah, I wanted to avoid calling her Mary Sue there at the end, where she just got all of a sudden super powerful. I don't know if it's necessarily that, but they certainly overdid it. And there was no natural progression for even just Carol. Just as a character.
I quite liked how they did address her backstory, where it wasn't just almost like an origins film. It was like a flashback throughout the film, little snippets here and there.
Yeah, I did like
rather than a linear, this is how she became Captain Marvel, blah, blah, blah.
I actually really liked what they did with the flashbacks and that stuff. They did, when we were in the flashbacks, they were good. I mean, I liked that stuff. And again, the beginning, to me, was I know a lot of people complained about the beginning. And it wasn't great. It was slow, but to me, the the third act just fell apart for me. The first and second act were okay. They were enjoyable. You know, and not that Act 3 was not enjoyable, but to me it was just, to me it fell apart in Act 3, and I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think the whole film would be in real trouble if Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, wasn't in it. I think he absolutely stole it in that role.
I agree.
I don't know why they wasted Coulson. Like, I love Coulson. Such a good character.
Such a big deal about Coulson's going to be in it, and then they used him for.
They got him a nice fake wig and everything, and they only used him for like 10 minutes.
I know. I met Clark Gregg 2 years ago. Like 2 years. Yeah, about 2 years ago, and yeah, he's really nice. I was very disappointed that they did not put more of Coulson in there. I mean, the whole thing. I mean, honestly, I thought he was got more a bigger role. He almost didn't even need to be there. I mean, it was just
a rookie, wasn't he? It was just
they didn't even mention him by name. They just called him Rookie for that.
You're right. I don't think they even mentioned him. Maybe once.
Someone's mentioned how good was the de-aging tech on Sam L. Jackson.
It was good.
He's 70 years old in real life.
Yeah, I honestly, I thought it was good. I thought what they were able to do was very good. I mean, that was one of my concerns going into the film, is that, you know, other movies, they've done it for a few minutes, right, for a character. Maybe just a couple minutes, like Leia in Rogue One, or Robert Downey Jr. in Civil War. Those just brief things. I wasn't sure how they were going to be able to do it for the long, the long haul of the movie, because it costs a lot. So I was afraid they were going to cut corners, but they didn't. It was actually very good. And again, Coulson looked very, very good. Peter says, one more question. After watching Captain Marvel, who do you think will be the next threat in Phase 4? What do you guys think?
Next threat.
You've got to go big, haven't you? You've got to go maybe Galactus, get in Silver Surfer.
Galactus.
Yeah, because I think that's the thing that the MCU struggles with, is the bad guys. There's never been, I mean, you probably agree or disagree, the bad guys in the MCU are quite forgettable, aren't they?
Yeah, and I will say this. Well, you're watching Captain Marvel, I hope it's the Skrulls. I know it's not going to be the Skrulls, but I hope it's the Skrulls.
They might develop them. They might say that second twist in there and bring them back to how we expect them to be.
Yeah, it can be done. They're not dead and buried, are they? They can always do like one of the Avengers is a Skrull. You know. I
agree. I don't think they're dead. There's plenty of time in between. You could just say, well, they actually did get a power hold on, you know, the universe, and they were infiltrated. So you could say that. I'm just saying that from what we saw in Captain Marvel, I don't know they're going to go that route. To me, it seemed like they were just, I don't know, maybe they'll fix it. Andrew Forbes says, oh no, we already saw that one.
But Ben Mendelsohn being great, I agree. I think he was probably one of the best characters in the film. Ben Mendelsohn's killing it at the minute. He's been the main bad in many films, like Ready Player One. He was the main bad guy.
Right. Okay, that's where I couldn't put my finger on. I felt like I watched a movie.
And he was the bad guy in Rogue One as well. So he's getting about.
Thank you. Okay, I couldn't put my finger. I knew who he was. I knew he was Rogue One, but there was some other movie. It was Ready Player One. Liam says, do you like how Nick Fury lost his eye? No, not really.
It's awful. Like an afterthought.
That was one of the most ridiculous things about the movie, I think. And honestly, I saw it coming a mile away. I knew that was coming. I knew it was going to be the cat. I knew it. Even before the movie came out. I knew the cat's going to do something and it's going to take his eye out. I knew that.
They put too much promotion into the cat for it not to be a main character, didn't they?
Well, and the whole thing that I think is where Soldier, where he's talking about, basically, he trusted someone and then he lost
someone, I lost an eye.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, and he's living on the cat. I'm like, it's the cat, definitely the cat.
You're so cute.
Yeah. Richie says, can I audition for next live show? Well, hey, message the page and we'll talk about it. I'm sure, we'll talk about it.
I mean, that's the whole point of this, isn't it? The podcast going forward is that we want to include everybody on the page. We want to...
Yeah, we want it to be completely interactive.
Broaden discussion, talk about possibilities and things going forward that can include everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's I want to get you guys involved. If you want to see something specific from us, just let us know. We want to include you guys. Andrew Forbes says they avoided giving her any relatable flaws. I disagree. But I see what he's saying. Is that they didn't really progress the character. But I think she has some flaws. I think, not knowing her past and kind of just, I don't know, but not rogue, but she was kind of just like not following orders and just, I don't know. Maybe that's, what do you guys think?
Origin films are so hard, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, think about all the origin films we have in the MCU. What is the best one? Probably Iron Man.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to pull off an origin movie.
Yeah.
The rest of them have been a bit bitty, same thing. Same with Thor. We were like, oh, what's going on with him? He was depowered for a lot of the film, so you didn't really understand what his weaknesses were. You only find out with a bit of time. And I think we're getting a quick turnaround with Captain Marvel. So you think we've had to wait years to see Iron Man in the second film. With Captain Marvel, we're getting her again in a month's time. Yeah. So we'll be able to see a lot more about her.
Yeah, so I got a notification. I don't usually talk about private messages, but I just got a notification that we got a message that people are saying it's stupid of you to do this live stream right now because a lot of people haven't seen it. Well, it's Sunday. Okay, it's Sunday. It came out on Thursday. A lot of people have seen it. The people that really want to see have seen it. Now, we don't...
Spoiler review.
Right, we don't advocate going around and sharing spoilers. We don't want people ruining the film for people. That's why we made it clear that this is a spoiler review. This is a spoiler review. So, no, look. And plus, a lot of people probably going to watch this after we're done live. So it's not, just put that 2 cents in.
I mean, the trailer gave away quite a lot of the film, didn't it?
Sure, yeah, sure.
It showed most of the acts. I mean, if you break a film down into 3 acts, it showed pretty much a clip from every act. I mean, the train sequence was the biggest part of the first act. It showed the end act where she's super powered up.
Yeah, it honestly, it did. I mean, it wasn't technically, spoiler or anything, but it did give a lot away, and we're just, we're talking, the guy responded. I think it's a bad action from otherwise good faith. Well, thank you, I appreciate, your comment. I do appreciate your comments. We try to make this the best we can, but unfortunately, we all have different things to do during the week, and the three of us could only get together today to do this, and we thought it would be far enough away from the premiere. I know a lot of other sites have done the same thing. So I'm sorry. We try to accommodate everybody, but it just doesn't always work. It just doesn't always work. But we appreciate the comment and suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah, we're talking. It's a spoiler review because we're going to mention plot points that ain't advertised in the trailer, but
Yeah, and the other thing is, it would be kind of hard for us to do a non-spoiler review and have a good discussion and have live, comments and questions because we don't want to spoil it.
No, we'd be sitting there in silence.
Right. We'd be like, well, we can't answer that. Well, we can't, I've done these before. And it's very difficult. You can't do it. If you're going to do a non-spoiler review, you do a separate review that's just like 5 minutes, and that's it. But this is more for interactivity. Black Pitron says, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Anyone else notice they're calling it S.H.I.E.L.D. right away, not until Avengers is when they show. Well, actually, what you're referring to is Iron Man. When they talking about, they shortened it to S.H.I.E.L.D. Well, I've seen a theory that said that Coulson was just playing with them, like playing with Pepper about that, like, oh, it's a mouthful, we're working on that. I feel like, that could be true. I don't know. I think, again, it's just a continuity error that most people are going to overlook anyway, so they probably didn't think it was a big deal. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think?
I'm not sure about that, actually.
You can forgive Marvel in their, 10 years of films to have a little bit of continuity error. I mean, the fact that
it is so small, it's spanning 12 films.
Yeah, you can forgive them if there was a little error with the whole S.H.I.E.L.D. Anagram.
Right.
It's not a big deal, is it? Really?
No.
I mean, you can even string two scenes together.
Yeah.
Let alone what MCU have done.
Yeah. I mean,
Richie Maxwell said about Star Force. Think they'll be back?
No, I don't think so. I think in between Captain Marvel and Endgame, I think she took care of them because we really don't see anything from them other than Guardians. We don't really see much of anything. So.
I mean, I would like to see them back because I think they were such good characters. I mean, Gemma Chan as Minerva, I thought was great, but she wasn't in it that much. And the guy with the beard that looked like me with a blue face, awesome.
I mean, I think what they did, I know what they were going for, where they were reversing the roles, or they're having Star Force be the bad guys and the Skrulls be the good guys. I think that was a big mistake. I know I know what they were going for, but I think it was the swing and the miss for me. What do you guys think?
I think, just aside from that, I think Jude Law did a fantastic job. I think he was really, really good in his role.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I disagree with you, Riley. I'm quite pro what they did with the Skrull Kree because everyone expects it. That's my issue with the MCU is everyone is looking past the film they watch to the next film. So
this is your soapbox.
Yeah, this is my soapbox moment. So people will watch Captain Marvel and all they're thinking about is seeing her in Endgame, and people are watching Captain Marvel thinking, oh, the Kree are in it and the Skrull, so they're thinking ahead. We're going to get a secret invasion film.
Right.
With this, that scuppers that. So now it plays into the whole Kevin Feige not releasing the slate for Phase 4.
Right,
so
which we still don't know.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to go on, which I quite like. I like being surprised.
It's certainly going to be a reduced slate. We know that from Marvel now. It's not going to be. We're not going to see like 12 films in front of us. It's going to be 3 films.
Yeah, we're not going to get Secret Invasions. We're not going to get what we thought. We might get better quality films with a little bit of surprise.
Might get a Goose Origins.
Oh jeez, no, please don't.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look,
it's like Garfield the cat.
They should do. I will say this. I like the cat. There is definitely hilarious. I laughed quite a bit. The only part that I thought was like ridiculous was him scratching his eye out. But that honestly, I like the cat. But I think honestly, they should get back to one shots. And I think the cat would be a great one shot. I think that would be hilarious.
One shots were really good, weren't they? The whole thing with Coulson in the in the convenience store where he'd done that like weird Mortal Kombat like kick, and then they just stopped doing them. And the whole thing with the couple that find the Avengers technology, the weapons, they just stopped doing it. Like,
yeah, I think it just came too expensive. I think that was just is for what they were doing it for, which was just like a short on the Blu-ray. I think they were just like, it's not really worth their cost. People are gonna buy the Blu-ray anyway. So that I honestly think that's what happened.
Referring to it as the cat. It's a cat. All right, it's a Kurgan. Geek.
Liam said, "Is there a point of a sequel?" Yeah, I do. I think they can do a sequel. Here's what I'll say about it. I didn't hate Captain. I didn't hate the movie. I did. It was fun. It was fun. But that's about it. But I will say that I think with different leaders, like not by that I mean directors, writers, I think the character will be more fleshed out. Like, I can't wait to see what the Russo brothers do with Captain Marvel and Endgame, because I think they're gonna have a lot better development with Carol, and I hope we see it. I think there is potential still with a Captain Marvel sequel, but I just think
when she's paired up with young Thor here.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing too. Samuel Jackson made the film, so they had, in order, I think, in order to basically do a sequel, either the writing needs to be better. I don't think it was all Brie, because she is a good actress. It's possible she filmed it in, but I don't. She's a good actress, but I think they need to have someone else to be the anchor of the film, because if Samuel Jackson wasn't there, it would have been a terrible movie. Honestly, it would.
They would. Thinking about it, they would struggle. Like, I'm thinking anyone else in Sam Jackson, even if you had Coulson in Sam Jackson's role, you'd struggle a little bit, wouldn't you?
They could have almost called that movie Fury.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and I agree with a lot of people saying that it just felt like the Carol character just fell flat to them, and I see where people are going with it. Rizza, I think it's Rizza, says, I was expecting Agent Carter to be in there somewhere. No, I wasn't. Were you guys?
Not really.
I didn't consider any of those characters be featuring. I just kind of sat there the whole movie just waiting for someone to actually say Captain Marvel. It didn't happen. She didn't actually get called Captain Marvel at all. Right.
No, she didn't. And except that part at the end, which was just, I think, is ridiculous dialogue where Fury is saying, it's Marvel, not Marvel. Something like that. That was just, no. That was okay, but they didn't really call it that. Hector says this movie was made for the fans of the series Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If you are one, you already know the whole movie, I think he means to say. The whole movie twist, not even 35 minutes watching it. I'm not sure what you mean, but I think, is he saying that, I'm just gonna guess that you're, Hector, that you're talking about the scroll twist. Yeah, I actually did see it coming. I did see it coming. But, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., yeah, I know. I saw some people talking yesterday about how it just looked like the film actually looked like an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know.
It was very small, wasn't it? There wasn't very many places they filmed it. It was very like studio. So, as I say, the first sort of 20 minutes was out of space, could have been anywhere in the studio. Then a chase scene in Los Angeles, and the rest of it was very like someone's house or another spaceship. It was very small.
It was. I mean, I don't think it necessarily looked like a TV show, but I will say that I know what people are talking about. I agree that it was small, and some of the set, and it was centered around, the S.H.I.E.L.D. Organization, so I can see why people were saying that. They wasted, Andrew Forbes says they wasted the usage of Marvel. What do you think?
Do you mean Annette Bening's character?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna guess that's what they're talking about. That's all the context they gave.
So everyone was speculating that Jude Law was going to be Marvel, and in the film it transpires that he's actually Yon-Rogg and Annette Bening is Marvel. And yeah, I suppose she, spoiler alert, didn't make it through Captain Marvel, but Jude Law's still alive, and I quite like the fact that Jude Law was in it. I think he was quite underrated in it, to be fair, and that's a good signing for the MCU, having Jude Law.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, guys. I mean, Andrew Forbes said, did anyone like how Nick Fury came across the name Avenger for the name of the director he made? I didn't like how it was Carol Danvers' call sign. If they didn't show that frame in the scene, it would have been fine and respectful to the rest of the Avengers. What do you guys think?
It's difficult, isn't it? Because this film is set sort of 10 years before Iron Man, the first Iron Man.
Right.
So you think, what was he doing for 10 years? He could not find anyone else.
Rubber stamping.
Yeah, he's like doing the admin side of things before he actually went out and found these people.
Just checking his emails.
Yeah. I think what people, at least what Andrew was saying there, I see what you're saying. It didn't bother me very much. I just...
Yeah, the name is like,
yeah,
okay, we got the Avengers in the end, doesn't matter.
Right, I agree though. If you would have just if you didn't show where he got the name, he just came up with it there, I think that I agree. That might have actually been cooler. I don't know what you guys think, but
it was a nice little callback, actually. Like,
yeah,
I quite like when things come full circle. So we were chatting about this, saying how Phase 4 they can do, especially with like the Eternals, they can almost do callbacks to all the MCU films that we've had to date, and do like these linear sort of, that was because of...
Yeah, we already know that the Eternals the storyline is going to span tens of thousands of years. Every one of these chapters in the MCU could be revisited at any point.
Right, and I completely agree with you guys. Let me see here. Richie says were the Kree good in Guardians of the Galaxy? Just Ronan was rogue? That's what they alluded to, Richie. That's what they alluded to in Guardians of the Galaxy, but you could tell that the Kree turned a blind eye to Ronan's, escapades, whatever you want to call them. So, I don't know, what do you guys think?
So in the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Ronan the Accused was the bad guy, wasn't he? One of the main baddies. So did the events of Captain Marvel set up his character path for the rest of the MCU? I mean, will we get a Marvel 2 where she's trying to defeat Ronan the Accused? Because obviously at some point he meets Thanos and does a deal with him to...
Right.
You know.
Well, I mean, unless... We don't know how things are going to change in Endgame with time travel, whatever they end up doing. But Ronan's dead. And I don't think they're going to use Ronan in a sequel. It would be like a prequel, but a sequel. And I don't necessarily think that. I think the next Captain Marvel sequel will actually be going forward. I don't think it's going to go back. I think it's going to go after.
Be in that kind of that 20-year void, so it's in the 2000s, and then it's old news by then. No one's really going to want to know the information.
Right.
I mean, I quite like what they've done with the whole Kree Skrull sort of debacle. So, the Underworld films with Kate Beckinsale.
Great film.
Depending on what order you watch them, depends who you root for. So if you watch them right from the beginning,
Lycans.
you root for the Lycans. But if you watch it from number one,
Lycans.
You root for the vampires. It's only that the prequel came, the third film was a prequel, that you then realise, oh, actually, the Lycans are the good guys. So similar to what we've done with this, like we could get a film maybe, phase 4 that makes us realise, oh, actually, the Kree and the Skrull are not as bad as we think.
Yeah. Richie says she would have been retired. I'm gonna guess you're talking about in Endgame. I think so.
I think he's talking about Peggy Carter, bless him.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it was there.
Would she though? Like, do you think so? 1945, she was like 30s. So by the 80s, she would be what? 70 maybe.
Yeah.
I could see it. Carter knocking about doing stuff.
Anthony says they only say Marvel. Okay. I thank you for clearing that. I don't remember much about Marvel. I remember mentioning it, but I don't think they necessarily erased it because you never really got to see them, or we never got to see Marvel. So I don't know what they're gonna do with Marvel. Andrew Forbes. What doesn't help is that the film isn't necessary to watch Endgame. Nothing contributes to the larger MCU picture. No, I disagree. I think it does. I don't think it necessarily sets up anything in Endgame. I don't. The only thing I can think of is the pager. That's the only thing it really explains how...
You need to have the backstory of Captain Marvel at some point.
Right. That's really it. I mean, look, if people are watching this and they haven't seen the movie, which hopefully you're not watching this unless you maybe don't care about spoilers, but if if you're a Marvel fan, go see it. Because it will give you a little bit of background of the film and going forward. We don't know what other films in the future are going to reference this. So we really don't know. But if you're not like a diehard Marvel fan and you're just looking forward to Endgame and you don't really want to spend the money, I wouldn't recommend it. I don't know about what you guys think, but that's just... Like, you're just a casual fan.
You've got to see it.
No man's land at the moment, and that's the thing. It's not.
Yeah.
You've got to see it though, because it's part of the fabric of the MCU. You can't miss a film because, as you say, there's little like
Yeah, I agree. I'm just say that if you're like a casual fan and you only go to like the big event films and you want to know if you have to see this one before Endgame, you don't really. But I will say that if you are a fan of the MCU, I'm always gonna go see a movie. Part of it's because that's what we talk about here, but also just I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, exactly.
You could go into Endgame not seeing Captain Marvel, and somebody, who's that? Oh, that's Captain Marvel. Oh, okay, and then just watch Endgame.
Right.
There's no direct. You're not drawing any information really from this movie.
Yeah, but you don't know that because they could mention the Kree, they could mention the Skrull, the Cat, the Kurgan.
They could, and again, we haven't seen Endgame, so we don't know what they're gonna do. But I don't think they're. I don't think they're gonna mention the Kree or the Skrull War. I honestly, I think they're just gonna give a brief introduction to Captain Marvel, and that's all people are really gonna need to know. I don't think you're
Then they're gonna bring on Galactus.
So Anthony, this is another point that we were talking about earlier. Can we talk about thinking if this will have Secret Invasion? No way the Skrulls are all good. I don't know if we answered that question, but we talked about it. What do you guys think? Do you think the Skrulls are all good?
We're thinking the Skrulls may well be split up into different factions, different groups.
I tend to agree, and I don't know if that's what they're going to do. I have a feeling that's what they're not going to do, but I will say that I hope they do that. I hope they have bad Skrulls and they do Secret Invasions at some point, because I love the Skrulls.
It's a shame to waste them, wouldn't it?
In this film, it was like, there'd be scenes like when Fury got into the elevator with his boss.
Yeah.
And you're straight away you're guessing. So is it the actual?
I love that.
Brilliant. I really enjoyed that.
And I think they should do kind of what if they're going to use the Skrulls again as the villains. What they need to do is do the same type of thing they did in Winter Soldier, where it was sort of a political spy thriller. That's what they need to bring back. I don't know what character you could use as the platform for that film.
Theobald Ross would be a good one. Imagine if he was a Skrull, the whole the whole Accord.
Yeah, I've seen it. There's a theory on the internet, on YouTube, that I forget who did it, but they're basically advocating that, well, they think that Rhodey is Skrull, which I won't get into it, but go check it out if you're interested in that.
It would do his character a favour if he was, because he's so boring.
Yeah.
It would do the MCU a favour though, wouldn't it? Like, we've actually swapped actors here. That was because he's a shapeshifter. Like, all right. And Liam Hart has asked a couple of times, why do people compare this to Wonder Woman? They're very different movies.
Do people compare this to Wonder
Woman? I don't.
I mean, the whole thing is it's Marvel's flagship female lead actor, isn't it?
I think that's why they compared. Yeah, that's why that's really the only reason why they compare. They're completely different films. If we are going to compare, Wonder Woman's better. But, at least to me. I think it's just a first female superhero movie kind of thing. Marvel's first. Wonder Woman's DC's first in their franchise, so I think that's what it is.
I mean, this wasn't a coincidence that it was released on International Women's Day. That's a masterstroke from Marvel. What a good thing to do.
Yeah, and apparently it's doing very well.
It's opening weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anthony, I like that they used the same Avengers facility in Avengers. I'm thinking he's talking about the this after credit scene, which was very good. Of course.
I think it's closer to Green Lantern than Wonder Woman.
Oh well, I see that. I've actually seen that. That was a meme that we put out. I don't know. I don't know if we took it seriously, but I mean, it does actually have a lot of the same beats as Green, but I don't think it's anything like Green Lantern. Really, I mean, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it really is that much like Green Lantern. Let me see.
There's nothing wrong with Green. I'm a big Green Lantern fan anyway.
Yeah.
That should be rebooted.
Yeah,
not to go off topic, I want to see Green Lantern Corps.
I hope it is. Richie. Another one by Richie. Oh, I thought you gave your last one. Never mind. Keep sending them in. Fury went from level 3 in Captain Marvel to level 10 in Iron Man. Yep.
But then he's got a 20-year career that he's.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Go up and away.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair interpretation of Fury and his progression.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it's 20 years. So I don't think Richie was saying that was necessarily like a bad thing. I think he was just commenting on it. Aubrey Scott says, will Captain Marvel get along with the Avengers team? Will she leave the team if Steve dies along with Tony? Why were Natasha, Steve, Rhodey looking at tubes of the super... No, I don't think they were tubes of the super soldier serum, Aubrey. I don't think... I mean, maybe I missed something, but I don't think that's what they were necessarily looking at. I think they were just trying to get the pager. They were trying to figure out what the pager was all about. I won't read too
much into that, but I think as for leadership, I think you're going to see, well, they will include an initial clash, won't they? You've got some big characters. You've got 2 captains now as well.
Yeah.
Steve is the born leader. Then you've got the all-powerful Captain Marvel.
Right.
It's going to be a shift.
2 smoke shows. You've got Brie Larson and you've got Scarlett Johansson. They're easy on the eye, aren't they? So they're going to have a bit of tension there, them two.
Yeah. I agree. Let's see.
Someone said to us, Dominguez Sema, can anyone explain to me how the Tesseract ended up in orbit? Because it was supposed to be that Howard Stark found it while searching for Captain America. So how? Well, we were chatting about this earlier. So he found it in 1945-ish. So then it went to Marvel around the late 80s. That's a big gap, isn't it? That's like a 40-year gap almost. So what's it been doing for all that time?
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot could have happened in that time, and I think just the fact that look, the Marvel, that was the character who worked at wait, that wasn't Marvel, was it? No, again, guys, I'm not familiar with the Captain Marvel lore very much.
Same with us. I'm only going from the film, so.
But anyway, the woman that was like working on the core, the light speed core or whatever it was, she was in the Air Force. So I'm gonna assume that there was some way she got the Tesseract, because Howard Stark got it out of the ocean, and SHIELD and the U.S. military were obviously working together. So I'm just gonna assume that's it. Stan Whip says Coulson, a shapeshifter. I would imagine he is in the new SHIELD as well, since he died and came back. Maybe not. Well, I will say this. Agents of SHIELD, I know they are in the MCU, but they aren't in the MCU. It's very complicated. We won't get into all that. But not.
I think it must be because Nick Fury cameoed in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so it must be connected.
Well, it is. It's kind of like, I've heard them explain it to like where the movies affect the show, but not necessarily the other way around. And I think, and even I don't know if you saw it again, the spoilers for last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but they didn't really, they mentioned the Thanos incident, but they really didn't do a whole lot with it. They honestly, they didn't really go, and which I get.
We haven't seen the snap, have we?
I get that.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No, and we may. I don't know. We're gonna see, the upcoming season is after Endgame, so maybe they just pretend like it didn't happen because somehow they were gonna reverse the snap. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Liam said, I see her teaming up with Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, or Benedict Cumberbatch and Brie Larson, I can see that, maybe.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
There's bound to be an alliance somewhere, isn't there, with the Avengers? Who would you pair her up with in the current lineup? Saying they're all surviving.
I'd like to see her with Thor. I think that would be quite a good partnership.
Thor. Yeah, Thor.
Mingle. She's ready to mingle.
I think Hulk. Honestly, I think Hulk could be interesting. I know it's a little out of left field, but I think they could play off each other pretty well on screen.
Like the whole Hulk and Valkyrie relationship, that sort of.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, someone said, Richie said about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fail equals Ghost Rider. I loved Robbie Reyes as Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I liked him too. Anthony says,
I think Nick Cage, mind you, but never mind.
Yeah, I think for Captain Marvel 2, she can have that Winter Soldier treatment. I hope so. Again, Captain Marvel was not a necessarily bad film, and honestly, I love the first Avenger. I love the first Avenger. I know some people don't like it. Whatever, that's fine.
It's one of my, I would say, top 3 Marvel films.
Well, I don't have it that high, but I agree with you though. I think it's a great film, and I don't fault you for having it number 3 or in your top 3 because it's maybe a very 5. Good, maybe 5, yeah. Oh, yeah. So basically, yeah. I mean, I hope it happens. Let me see.
You drove a car. What do you mean, Richie?
No, I like the fact now that the Skrull seed has been sown. Because now, going forward from Captain Marvel, you can look at pretty much every character and go,
Yeah. That's a good point, yeah.
So there could be now a lot of second guessing moving forward.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, that's true.
So you think about like Winter Soldier, the main, a lot of characters in that could be Skrull. Like you just don't know.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what I hope they do. I hope they use the Skrulls as bad guys. I really hope, and I think it's possible. I have a feeling that they're not going to go that way, but Anthony says, yes, love that, he's right, yes. I really hope that's correct, because I would love to see the Skrulls.
I think combine that, Thunderbolt Ross as a Skrull, as Red.
That would be great. That would be great. I'd love to see that. And it would make sense, because he infiltrated the government. I mean, he's a Secretary of State, so
close to the Avengers, so close to everything, so much influence.
Yeah, and same with the Rhodey situation. That's one of the things they brought up in the one video theory that I saw. That it would make sense for him to be a Skrull because he wears the War Machine suit. He's high up in the military. He has access. So I don't know. Makes sense. Richie says Captain Marvel will team up with, wait for it, Blade. What do you guys think?
Yeah, boy.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but I would love to see it.
What a good tip. The Daywalker. Love it.
Yeah,
I can't wait for Wesley Snipes' Blade in the MCU.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
I can't have anyone else spot from Snipes.
Yeah. Let's see, Liam. The MCU should do an all-female Avengers spin-off. If Birds of Prey makes money, I don't think it's necessarily a need for it. I mean,
it's not necessary. I don't think.
I don't think there has to be a reason that there's only females in the Avengers.
Yeah, fit it into the MCU storyline, and I'll be keen. But
yeah,
just like that's the failure of the DCU, isn't it? They're just like, oh, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna do like a Birds of Prey film.
Which I don't think is a bad idea, but I think if you look at you can see how something can be done for the wrong reasons. And if your goal is to just make a movie where it's all female leads, and that's it, that's your whole motivation, then it's not going to be a very good film. But if you're
going to take, what storyline are you going to apply to that?
Right, but if you make it in such a way that it just so happens that the whole team is a female, or even like just 3 female, like Valkyrie, Captain Marvel, and I don't know, Black Widow. Just whatever, right? You say they team up. Now that would be a good film. I think they have potential, but if your goal is just to have a female team up,
how are you going to get there with that female film? Like, think of the storylines we've got at the minute. You're never going to get that.
Maybe it's something they're going to weave in or lean towards with the Black Widow solo movie.
Yeah, but that's going to be surely going to be a prequel, isn't it?
I'm touting Emma Watson for Red Widow. I think that's the character they can bring for that. But they could quite easily bring in more peripheral characters to bolster that.
Yeah, I mean, and I love Emma Watson, so I hope we see that. Let's see. Jared says movie really wanted for a antagonist who could stand up to Captain Marvel. I really never felt like she was in any danger whatsoever, which made the movie a little boring.
That's the whole Superman syndrome, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's the whole MCU syndrome. You think of all the films, there's never been an antagonist who I thought, oh my god, like they're in trouble. Even Age of Ultron, that was my big hope. That I thought Ultron would be the main bad. I thought they're really going to struggle here. The trailers made it out to be he was going to be some sort of uber bad guy, and to be fair, they didn't really do much, did he? Like, didn't really sign up to it.
I'm sorry, guys. My dog's barking in the background.
It's normally my dog, mate, does that. Don't worry.
Yeah, he's being a pain, but he's a good dog.
Like Vision and the Hulk, and they seem to be getting weaker or less.
Yeah.
They just get banged up, don't they?
Yeah. I definitely agree. They definitely, especially in Endgame, they really depowered Vision.
Yeah, they didn't even turn up, really, did they?
But anyway, see. Do we have any more questions today?
Let's have a look.
Anthony Giovanni Worley has said, so Brie is the missing character in the Endgame trailer footage we got.
Well, we don't know. We don't know that there even is a missing character, but
it's a big void in that scene.
It is, and they
used to be Professor Hulk.
And they've done this before. They've done this before where they have like a gap or something there. But I don't. We don't know for sure. But it probably.
Somebody says it's Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
you imagine so.
Yeah. So Richie says. Let's see. Wait a minute. Anthony says only Infinity War has that kind of antagonist. I'm not sure what he's Do you know what he's talking about?
I mean, he's talking about Thanos, isn't he? I mean, that's the only bad guy in the MCU who's had any success against anybody, and I quite like that. I'm glad Infinity War ended how it did, with Thanos actually winning. Top, on top. Yeah, that's a good way to end.
Yeah. Richie, Doctor Doom. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, but
I think Richie might be talking about Doctor Doom as the missing character in that scene.
No, it's not Doctor
Doom. Or maybe
Doom.
Doctor Doom is the main, another antagonist in the MCU.
No, I honestly, I don't think they're... Well, if in another film, but Endgame, no. No, they're not going to have enough time. Even with 3 hours, they're not going to have enough time to... They're going to have to undo the snap and do all that. That's going to be too much. Anthony said... Oh, it moved. Hold on. Anthony said, maybe just curious more about the end credit. Like, it seems like they reach Brie not too long after Infinity War. Like I said, I think earlier I said, I think it's going to be in the first, 30 minutes. I don't think it's going to be in the first 10 minutes, but I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be probably early on. What do you think?
You reckon?
Yep. Richie, Winter Soldier was best bad guy. I don't know. He was kind of
I see Richie's point, because
I'm a big fan of Winter Soldier.
He was an anti.
That may well be.
He was an anti-hero. I mean, he was a bad guy in the movie, but he ended up being good. So it's hard for. I think the reason I said I don't know, I think it's because it was hard for me to see him that way, because he was a good guy. So maybe that's just me. Anthony says, so much different footage we have with Black Widow's hair. It's short, long, and some photos have red. Well, here's what I think is going on. We'll wrap this up soon, because we're kind of out of Captain Marvel questions. But I'll say this, Anthony. I think the pictures where it's longer hair, red hair, I think those are either in the past or some type of alternate dimension. I don't think the future that we see in the one, well, it's not future, it's present day. The present day doesn't really, I don't think that it would make sense for her to change her hair again. I think honestly, it's just basically, they go back in time. She had red hair, long hair, like in the early days. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I wouldn't put too much emphasis on what they look like, because we know from the trailers,
they can change it.
Yeah, Infinity War. So everyone thought the Hulk was in Infinity War, but he weren't.
Wasn't in the whole film.
Wasn't in the whole film. So don't pay much attention. Marvel like the misdirect, don't they?
Very good with their smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean,
apart from Captain Marvel, they just showed us everything.
Yeah. I mean, we've only had 2 Infinity War Endgame trailers, and they don't really give away a lot. And I imagine the 3rd trailer won't give away much more than maybe featuring Captain Marvel in some of the scenes. I don't imagine we'll get a lot.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys? Why don't you briefly say your positives, your negatives, and give it a score?
Jackson?
So I give Captain Marvel a good 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I enjoyed Nick Fury, circa Die Hard with Vengeance, and I liked Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. I thought she was quite sassy, played it well. Like the callback to the 90s, Blockbuster Video, Kevin Smith, Mallrats. Stanley's cameo was amazing. I liked the little nod at the beginning.
That was the greatest
Stan
touch.
Lee.
That was great.
Marvel Studios
exactly.
signing to Stan Lee was a beautiful touch.
Don't believe the hate. It's not a bad film. Go and see it, because if you're a fan of the MCU, you need to see it, because it plays into the continuity of the films.
Yeah, and what do you think?
I kind of echo Jack there. I'm going to take it down a notch. I'm going to score it 1 less than Jack, just because I walked out of there just a little bit deflated by the whole experience. I enjoyed Captain Marvel as a character. Nick Fury did steal the show. It should have been called Fury. It was good. It could have been so much better.
All right. I see some guys saying, some people in the chat or in the comments are saying 7 out of 10.
Agree, they're not like saying, "Oh, it's terrible." They're kind of agreeing.
Yeah,
said
no
7 out of 10, and one says 8 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, here's briefly, basically my thoughts. I know feel like we talked a lot about negatives in this movie. It's not a bad movie. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a terrible movie. I was certainly underwhelmed. I felt like they had so much potential. I think that's what honestly aggravated me the most, is that it had tons of potential, and I feel like they just kind of squandered it a little bit. And I mean, I don't know. But basically, I liked Sam Jackson. He was great. He's always great, but he was great in it. I wish we would have gotten to see a little bit more of Coulson, but he was good in it. I really liked special effects. Some parts were rough, but I would say that the de-aging stuff was absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, great.
And I mean, the cat was funny, except for the Nick Fury scratching the eye out. But other than that, I liked the cat. I think, like Ben Mendelsohn, he was good. I saw him, and I saw the twist coming a little bit before, so it's kind of a negative to me. But and the scrolls, we talked about the scrolls, that was a negative. I didn't like how they kind of made them all like, I don't want to say sympathetic, because that's not a bad thing, but I don't know, to me it was just mishandled. Richie Earthquake, it goes into what I was saying. He says, Marvel movie are all guilty of having more potential. No, I disagree. I think a lot of, I would say most of the movies are good. No, I wouldn't say most are great, but there are a few that are great. At least to me. I mean, it's just an opinion, but I
think Marvel put a lot more effort into certain movies. So like Endgame, as the Russos directed it, whereas Captain Marvel had two relatively unknown indie directors. Right. And that's why you can give them a bit, come a bit slack. So the visuals weren't great because they didn't have control over it. They've never done that before. If they've gone from small indie films to Captain Marvel, which is going to probably be big budget film, you're going to struggle.
Tommy just says watch it today. He got 7 out of 10. Yes, sir. I hope I'm supposed to say your name right. The real score, Captain Marvel, I'm guessing for himself or herself, I don't know if that's where it goes in. 6 out of 10, it didn't do any better by any means. I mean, look, I don't think, to me, I've been debating whether I should give this a 6.5 out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 7. Only because I do like some of the things in it, like Sam Jackson, and that's what kind of it's definitely it's fun. It definitely is enjoyable. It's worth seeing, but it is not. It's kind of like the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Okay, it had a lot of potential. I don't really watch it anymore. Like, I don't see me watching this movie, or it doesn't have the rewatchability factor, but
I agree, I don't think you're going to learn anything else on a revisit.
Right, it's not something that I feel like I can watch over and over. I'm not going to enjoy it as much watching it again and again. But I will say that, it's kind of like maybe Spider-Man 2 had a lot of potential. It kind of, that's what hurt it the most, I think, is it had potential. It felt like they squandered it. But it was still fun, but it wasn't a great film. And I gave that one a 7 out of 10. So I decided to give this one a 7 out of 10. Again, it's okay, it's enjoyable, but not great, not MCU. I mean, it's definitely in the bottom. Maybe not the worst. Definitely
it's a solid
not.
offering. It's not
no
Guardians of the Galaxy territory, but it's not as bad as
No, it's not.
Good effort.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not like it's not near as bad as Dark. Dark World?
Dark World.
Yeah, I hated that one. That was. I mean, and there are redeeming qualities in it. I think I gave it a 6 out of 10. So not like where I hated it. Maybe that's too strong, but I definitely that was a film that did not hit the mark for me. But that's probably my least favorite. But yeah, I posted in the group, in the Movie Squad group. Be sure to join that, people. Join Movie Squad. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I posted I liked Iron Man 2 better than Captain Marvel. I know a lot of people don't like it, but
I don't understand why Iron Man 2 gets all the hate. I really like it.
I like it. I mean, it's certainly not. It's definitely near the bottom. It actually is. It is for me anyway. In my list, it is near, but I still enjoy it. Without
Iron Man 2, you wouldn't know who Black Widow was, or
Yeah, and I actually rank it higher than Iron Man 3. I rank it high, maybe 1 or 2 films higher. So yeah, I liked Iron Man 2. It wasn't great, but to me, it was more enjoyable than Captain Marvel. As Richie says, Tony Stark as a F1 driver. Come on. Yeah.
He's Bruce Wayne Rich. He can do what he likes.
Yeah. So yeah, I like that. So, and Hammer is what really sold that for me. Hammer. Yeah. See, Richie just said Justin
fake tan on his hands when he's eating his food in the airport.
Yeah, and Richie says Justin Hammer. So yeah, I think everybody could agree to that. But anyway, let's wrap this up. Guys, everybody watching, please, stay tuned. Not today, of course, but hopefully next weekend we're going to have our Movie Squad episode. Yes, it's a new show we're doing. We're gonna put it here. It's not gonna be live because there's just so many kinks we have to work out before we're even ready for that. Eventually, we would like to do it because we like this interaction. But we're gonna post it here on Facebook. Hopefully, it'll be on. We'll do the audio versions as well on iTunes. There is one episode on SoundCloud. I think it's just soundcloud.com/FandomWire. Yeah, so just go on there if you want to see a little preview. It's like an official, unofficial episode. So basically to help us get approved on iTunes, stuff like that. So yeah, we had that one. You can listen to that now. It's not gonna be too long, because we're basically just talking about movies in the show. So it'll be hopefully next week. I'm still working on the production, getting all the graphics, everything ready. We want to make it the best we can possibly give you guys, and you can send in your questions to Movie Squad. So you want questions on the show, and you would send your questions to Movie Squad at FandomWire.com. Movie Squad at FandomWire.com. And we'll probably post a reminder this week if you guys want to send in a question, or maybe we'll just have some Facebook questions as well. But Movie Squad at FandomWire.com. This is Jack on the left, Scott on the right. They're going to be hosting that show. Glad to have you guys. And where can people find you online?
So find us at, well, what have we got? We haven't.
Well, really, until the movie squad is up and running,
right?
It's going to be a normal point of contact at Facebook for us. But do drop in all those questions to the movie squad at FandomWire.com, and we're gonna, we want this to be as interactive as we can make it. Really, we want to address everything. We want to hear from everyone's opinions, fire them through, and we'll work through them.
Yep, we've got our own email addresses. So jack@fandomwire.com or scott@fandomwire.com. But yeah, as we say, we want to do a podcast every week. So the more interactive, the better. Send your questions in to us, and it's for you basically. So let us know what you want us to talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk about it and have some fun with it. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Wow, we had quite a long. I don't know how long we've been going here, but it's quite a long discussion. Hopefully, when more movies come out, we can do this. I think the fans really liked it. I think, I really liked it. We had some good interaction. So thank you guys for joining us today. Please check out FandomWire.com. That's all of our news articles. Of course, we're on social media, Twitter at FandomWire, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at FandomWire News. Of course, we do a lot of our stuff on Facebook, so definitely like us if you haven't already. I'm Riley Johnson, Editor-in-Chief of FandomWire. You can follow me at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Riley B. Johnson. Thank you very much for joining us, and until next time.
Bye. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys, and we shall see you soon.
Remember, SoundCloud.com, FandomWire Podcasts.
Yep.
See you there.
Coming at you. Bye.